For Equestria, Mission 2. Well, that didn't go as I had expected, Mystique growled as she supported Candy Cane towards the emergency hatch. The beating their former captain had administered had really done a number on her friend. Both his eyes had already swollen shut, and the medics would really have a field day with his ribs. Now that she had the time to actually look at his injuries, she doubted that she would have been able to help him even if she had been able to get past the protective alicorn. The hatch to which Frostmane had directed them came into view. After opening the steel door, they found themselves in an elevator. Carefully setting down Candy Cane on one of the benches inside, Mystique trotted over to a wall panel. It had only one option, which was up. Frostmane sat in front of a security monitor, her hoofs on the image of Candy. She regretted what she had done to him, but what was she supposed to do? She still loved him, but all her feelings of pain and betrayal had exploded when he had reminded her of her mission. She had done her best and had lost everything. As much as she hated the condition her beloved Equestria was in, she at least saw peace whenever she bothered to tune in to one of the public security cameras. Ponies may not live as good a life as before all of this, but at least they weren't starving. What good would a new conflict be? The only things that would be accomplished would be a new age of conflict and death. She felt a feather brush against her back as Luna stepped next to her. "Do you really think this is the right thing to do? Shoving your friends away like this? There may be ponies out there who need our help. Ponies that want this occupation to end once and for all," the alicorn said gently as she watched tears run down her niece's face. Frostmane wanted to argue but couldn't bring out a single word through her sobs. Luna sighed, letting her horn glow. This would hurt her niece, but she had to do it. As Princess of the Night and Warden of Dreams, she knew about Frostmane's many attempts to kill herself. The augmentations the medical robots of the facility had put into her had brought her back each and every time. Her niece needed a purpose in life, and she was about to give her one. Luna had refused to show this to her since she didn't want to hurt her, but this had to end now. The screens changed to a view of the command center. Frostmane's eyes watched in horror as she saw her mother and her brother appear on the screen. She watched as the 4 turrets popped out of the ceiling and opened fire on them. The unicorn turned her head so she didn't have to see how they died. So far, Frostmane had refused to watch this recording. She knew that her brother's and her mother's death had been recorded, but she never wanted to look at it. The pain it induced, the memories. What had her mother died for? A quest. A mission. To free the princess. She herself had ordered her mother and her brother to get the security system operational. It was her fault that they had died. But a thought struck her. What would her mother think of her behavior just a few minutes ago? Frostmane gulped. Red-Eye would be ashamed of her. Hitting her friends, abandoning a mission she had sworn herself to. What had she been thinking these past few years? Trying to kill herself? With a mission unaccomplished? Not even trying? Frostmane's hooves raced over the controls as soon as the recording ended. Tears were still running down her face, but Luna was relieved to see that she had a look of determination on her face. The screens changed once again as she switched them to a hidden camera in the woods right outside Ponyville. It looked down directly on the spot where her friends had emerged. She looked in horror as both of them lay on the forest floor, bound up like housewarming Eve presents. 2 griffins were just stepping into the elevator that had pushed away the soil as it came up. The other 5 held Mystique in check with their assault rifles. They didn't bother too much with Candy, since he was completely out of it. Frostmane's expression darkened. Okay, and here are my questions for you, as always, every pony. How do you think the Griffins found that, quote-unquote, emergency hatch, or better, emergency elevator? What do you think Frostmourne will do? And do you think she has finally snapped out of it? Sincerely yours, Visual Pony.